What's up, everybody? Dustin here, Drift Flow Racing. Just wanted to do a quick update for some of the people that was asking on the coolant modifications that we've done on this car. Obviously, the last video showed the fan mod. The coolant modifications, we don't run any external coolant line. So anything that was on the factory, we've blocked it off. I've welded a bung, a plug. I say a bung. I made a plug and TIG welded this. You can cap it off. Done the same thing on this one. That's where we run our temp sensor. Nothing is running to the throttle body. No external coolant lines whatsoever. You go over on this side, and you're going to see that's where your factory right here. That's where your factory oil cooler lines. Some of them go to. They loop around the bottom. We don't run this factory sandwich plate. We run an external oil cooler. So we run a plate in between the filter, and that way it's external, comes up here to the front. We also run a power steering cooler just because these cars are notorious about overheating the power steerings and knocking pumps out and obviously damaging the racks when the power steering gets too hot. That's pretty common. The other thing we do, I've done what I call my homemade Pathfinder mod. So on the center of the intake, if you pull the lower intake on these cars, and in the block there's a plate that's it's a block off plate. So on the Pathfinders they use that, and it goes up to a I guess they're calling it, the Pathfinder mod's got a secondary thermostat, and it goes up to a crossover, and what it does, it gets to a certain temperature and it bleeds that water off back into this pipe. So what I just took that factory plate that was in the lifter, what I call with the lifter valley. There's no lifters on these motors, but what we commonly know as the lifter valley. So I just took that plate, took it off, drilled a hole, welded a number 10 fit into it. I ran a number 10 line over here to my radiator, welded a bung on the radiator. This is just a cheap radiator, nothing's fancy. It's not a Mishimoto, it's just a cheap knockoff radiator, but they do well. They're much better than having just a factory plastic tank radiator. I do recommend pressure testing them to make sure. Occasionally guys say they might get one that leaks. This one was fine. It's done fine. It cools fine. We don't run a thermostat. All we run is just a thermostat that has been gutted. So we're just running the restrictor. You can play around with restrictor size. That's been a common thing in cooling systems on race cars for years. By doing that, you can kind of control how long the coolant stays in the radiator and how much heat exchange it does, that it receives. We also run just straight distilled water, and we run AMSOIL coolant boost. It's kind of like a water wetter. It's just an additive to the water. That way it gives the water actually some film, and it helps heat dissipation. But that's it. That's how we do our coolant system on this car. It does well. This car never overheats. Yes, if you run it lap after lap after lap, it will get up into temperature, but by then the tires are cooked. I mean, you know, in drifting, you've got to kind of give your tires some time to cool down, but we've never had an issue heating. The highest this car sees maybe 220, and then it's coming right back down, and that's after a pretty good run, constant lap, right? So, but yeah, that's what we've done. Hope this helps some guys. If you got any questions, feel free to let me know. Like I said, again, you don't have to make these, me being a machinist and engineer, and it's easy to make little plugs and TIG weld them. You don't have to do that. You can cap it off, cap the hose off, whatever. But again, we don't run anything external, nothing. But like I said, this is a full race car, so there's no external pipes, no heater hose, no coolant for the oil cooler, nothing. So hope that clears up things. Hope you got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you're local to me, be more than glad to help somebody do this to their car. It's like I said, it's not bad. About a day's, few hours work, to make some bungs and whatnot, but it's easy, simple. Just be smart when you do things and research them out. And again, keep going and keep drifting. Enjoy it. Thanks, guys.